I see the mayor's here, the council president I saw earlier, there he is, and John Keene is here. Again, I want to thank the task force for all the hard work that they have done. We adjourned yesterday, so we are outside of the sunshine, but they all met last night at, I don't know, Carl flew them down to Joe's Stone Crab in Miami, and so they all met down there last night. We did last night and this morning change the report to enlarge the charts, which are now legible, and we added the chart, which y'all don't have yet, you will have it at the end, to change the costs, the savings, to the two columns I think there were, and then we highlighted those two charts to show what the normal cost differentiations were. So I think everything is done. We did add that sentence that I promised, that we wanted to expand the investment authority of the JPSDF to require them to invest $1,000 a year in Powerball, and that would save all of our problems. So, with that, I want to say that we're here today to present formally the work of the task force in the form of its report, which is some 50 pages long, plus an appendix of I don't know how many pages, which will go up on the website. We're not going to print that, but save the paper, and that will go on the website sometime later today or tomorrow. And then the executive summary, which we worked on, which hopefully will be distributed throughout the community. That will be the one that most people look at. As we present this to, maybe I could ask the mayor and the council president and Mr. Keene as the administrative fund, if y'all could come down here and let me just present these to you formally, then I'd like to just say something, and then y'all might want to say something or you might not. But Mr. Mayor, let me present this report, which is 17 meetings. I think somebody said there were 3 or 4 hours each. One was 5 hours. A lot of effort, Mr. President.
Thank you,
we hope that you will memorize that and get it to the council. There will be, and the quiz is going to be how you implement it. That's right.
I understand.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. This is delivered to all three because these are really the people that will make this happen. The mayor is the CEO of the city, council president as the head of the legislative body that enacts legislation to make this happen, and John Keene, the administrator, and Bobby Deal, his board chair, and Randy Wise on that board. Y'all will make this happen. And again, what I said yesterday, this is a community shared effort. Everyone on the radio station I was on this morning, people really didn't care much about anything else except what they're going to have to pay. And that's payment from the one side of the table, and so all sides of the table need to contribute. That's the theory, and it's all of a piece. I would like to say to each of the three of you, because you are the three leaders that are going to carry this forward. We've appreciated your leadership going forward. Each of you has led in different ways, but now is the time for real leadership. And if this drops, we are not going to have any more One Sparks. We are not going to have any more libraries. We're not going to have any more of the things that we like to see. There's not going to be any downtown development, Mr. Mayor. There's going to be nothing, and people are going to start moving elsewhere, and our young people are not going to be coming here. But this is as important as consolidation, which we say it is, and it's as important to lay a foundation for the future financial integrity of the city. The burden is on you three guys and your men and women colleagues to make this happen. So we'll hold it to you, there's some strong-willed people on this task force that have worked long and hard, and we'll get out if y'all don't get out, and I'm not meaning that as a threat, but I'm meaning it as a fact of life that this is too important to let it fall. So we'll be on the hustings if y'all want. It's important that this be done this year. And if you think about it, next year is the election year, and everybody says that the election has already begun. Well, that may or may not be true, but if y'all get this out of the way this year, then the issues will be different next year. Now, you'll have to run on your record as to what you did on this, but that's why you're elected, and that's why you have courage, and that's why it's time to, in the colloquial, it's time to put on the big boy pants and go forward. But y'all need to do that, and we know that y'all will because of your character and your integrity and your leadership abilities. So with that, thank you for your leadership in advance, and we thank you for the community and thank the community for stepping up to the plate too. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to take this time to thank the board, 17-member board members for coming up with a document like this. All your hard work and everything you put in here will not go in vain. I know that you've worked hard on this, long debate and discussions to come up with some of the things that you have on the menu to solve the problem. I also know, Mr. Chairman, as you said, that this is serious business, and that's why I appointed a task force of 17 board members to tackle an issue that you didn't create, I didn't create, but we stepped up to the plate to try to solve this problem. This problem's been around for many years. So I know the significance of it. Most mayors, I know in Jacksonville, in the history of this city, have never taken on an issue like this in their first term. But I'm doing what's right and providing the leadership for this city. That's very, very important to me. It is about the quality of life. One thing you didn't mention, Mr. Chairman, that no business would want to come here if we're in a city where we're always focusing on things that really don't matter to people. And so tackling this issue is important. And I'm going to do everything I can as mayor to do the following. One, I'm going to work with City Council. I'm going to work with John Keene and the unions. And I'm going to work expeditiously to present a pension plan to City Council. As you know, the executive branch is in charge of recommending a pension plan to the City Council. And my goal as mayor is to get this done as soon as possible. There will be no grass growing underneath my feet on this issue. Now, Mr. Chairman, you mentioned one thing that I really haven't focused on, and I think is important to note. I think John Malott said it best, and I've said this the last time. You know, politics has no business in this process. And I think we've got to keep partisan politics, any politics, out of this process. When I appointed the task force, I did so with that in mind. And so we have an opportunity to work together. I'm going to sit down with John Keene. I'm going to sit down with police and fire, and we're going to hit the ground running. And I think by working with all the stakeholders like we did the first time, I think we should be able to come up with a retirement plan that's fair to the taxpayers, fair to city employees, and would set us on a course for once and for all to solve this problem. You know, if it was easy, it would have been done. But it took each and every one of you to put your time, effort, and talent and energy into this process. And for that, again, I thank you for it. But the goal is to get it done, and you're right, get it done this year, solve the problem this year, so we won't have to deal with it next year. And my time frame, Mr. Chairman, is to get it done as soon as possible. We have some time constraints. You have to sit down with all the stakeholders to get it done, and I believe we're going to get it done. And we're going to get it done because you have to get it done. And so I'm very optimistic about it. I think John Keene and others, Randy Wise and police and fire will be working with us. We have a good working relationship. We're going to sit down and make it happen. So I want to thank all of the staff. I want to thank my team, my staff, for their hard work and working with the task force. I want to thank all the volunteers and people who've come out to listen, who care about this issue and believe in this issue. This is a community issue. And I want to thank the community for its patience. But at the end of the day, it's about leadership. And I'm going to continue to provide the leadership on this issue and other issues. This is just one issue. The port is an issue that we got to deal with. Mr. Chairman, you talked about downtown and the quality of life. So it impacts everything. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your time in serving. I know it wasn't easy. I told Carl Cannon he needs an office downtown. He's downtown a lot. But we're greatly appreciated for all the things that you have focused on. And again, I know a lot of work went into this, and we'll do our part. Thank you very much.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. I wholeheartedly accept your challenge and the challenge of the committee to get this thing done. And the comment made about partisan politics, let's go beyond that. Let's just say politics in general. There's no place for that. It might mean the sacrifice of some positions and political futures if we do this thing right, because those of us that have inherited it may be the ones that will also take the political abuse and the fallout from it. But I can tell you from my standpoint personally, that is no consideration whatsoever, that this is too important to your children and your grandchildren and my grandchildren and the community as a whole to not get this thing finished and done. You've given us a blueprint, and I think it's been a very, very good blueprint touching on those three areas that have to be resolved. And I appreciate, as I expressed yesterday, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you and the efforts that you put forth in doing this. And that's an encouragement to us to move ahead. And I promise you, as I said yesterday, we're going to call a special meeting. We're going to aggressively pursue this as fast and as furiously as we can, because we know that it has such a potential impact on our future as a community at a time when we see great things happening for Jacksonville and great potential into the future. So thank you again for what you've done. I truly appreciate it. And if there's anything that I can do in the process, don't hesitate to call on me, because I can assure you during the process, I'm going to be calling on you. Thank you.
Keene.
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the task force. As I previously told you 2 meetings back in the letter on behalf of the Board of Trustees, our 5,000 members and beneficiaries, we appreciate the time and talent that you all have brought to this discussion. We are not new to pension reform. We've been working on it since the second year of Mayor Payton's second term, and we have large volumes of material on pension reform. As Council President pointed out, you have provided us with the blueprint, and it's our duty and responsibility, fulfilling our fiduciary responsibility to our members to work on it. We're going to work closely with Mayor Brown and his staff, as well as Council President Gulliford and the members of the council. The Board of Trustees is fully committed to comprehensive pension reform. And again, in closing, thank you all for the tremendous amount of time and talent that you have provided to this report. Have a great day.
Thank you, John. And I think with that, we are finally and fully adjourned. So thank you all very much for serving. And keep your cell phone and your messages, because we might want to call you to come use your words of encouragement to others. And it's important to get the words out in the community, so use your own little groups of influence to spread the word. Thank you very much. The revised full reports, Carol, I guess you have them now. And so let's make sure that the task force members get it, and then there'll be more for the press as they get printed, but we'll have those. And again, thanks to Carol Wells for all of her
Bill, before we go, Mr. Chairman, from the task force, and I think we'll all enjoy our party. But again, I think it'll always remind you about this process if you'll go ahead and open it up.
It's a pension?
Well, take a look. It's something that you'll always think about, a lot about what we talked about here. Bring alcohol.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, y'all are great apples, and it's a great community. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, one last question. Are you going to provide copies to each council member, or do you want me to take care of that?
We'll do that. I mean, y'all, assuming that there's cooperation between the city council and the mayor's office, I'm sure y'all can get that done.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't want to have duplication.
I can make sure it gets done. We'll be providing CDs and.
Y'all provide, okay, great. And send them both the full report and the executive summary. We'll leave the appendix on the website.
Online, yeah,
Right.
that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Scott.